Level up, level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna ball, waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm tryna go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chillin' with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she tryna kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Ball, waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm tryna go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chillin' with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she tryna kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough.
Your leisure, hand.
We are back fresh from an amazing trip at PAX East 2024. Yes, I was finally outside and I had an amazing time. Baron showed me the ropes because I haven't been to a gaming convention in almost 4 years, and Baron had to show me the ropes and remind me what to do and what to say. It's awesome that he's famous and he's super popular in the gaming space. And it was really cool to watch him do amazing interviews and exclusive content and some super dope stuff that's coming around the corner, right? So that was super amazing. I wish my sister Floor Hugger could have been there and the homie Dallas could have been there, but we had an amazing time. But we are back. With all that said, what's going on, people? Famous Ham here from LV1Gaming.com, and congratulations, you guys leveled up to 284. This is the double XP podcast. We have a lot to talk about tonight. We have a super dope, amazing new guest with us today. We're going to introduce him, but first, the regular introductions. My right hand, man, the floor hugger with the hardest of arms. What's going on, sis?
Well, we're missing Des, but I'm glad you guys are back. Nobody is, knock on wood, convention sick, so let's just roll with it. Let's talk about all these good things, and let's learn about our guest today too, because this is the first time I'm meeting him.
If your emails is popping and your DMs is full, that's because communication director level 1 game trying to get a hold of you, baby. Baron J67, what's going on, Chief?
Working on emails. Working.
PAX ain't ended yet.
PAX ain't ended yet.
Listen, all these developers and publishers, we still got to reach back out to. PAX hasn't ended yet. It's ridiculous.
Oh God, I just dropped the PAX, bro. It's PAX is not. I feel like it just started. Like I feel like this is the part that they don't tell you about. Like
No.
when you're going for work, like when you go to work, this is the part they don't tell you about, the reaching back, the connections, the travel home, but yeah, I'm ready.
Next up, and I hope he's here, DALLAZ. Nah.
Oh
man.
Well, hello. What's happening with y'all? Oh man, what's good with y'all, man? It's been a little minute. It's been a little second. Every time we even skip a week, I feel like it's been a long time. It's been so long. In fact, I have fallen through a portal in the multiverse, and I am now a much more handsome version of myself, if I do say so myself. That being said, I'm ready to get it going.
Listen, before we introduce, I guess Dallas, I must say that's pretty fire, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
I appreciate you, man.
It's really
I need you to put I need you to lighten the skin up and make him 300 pounds so I can have one.
And then give him twists.
And make him so tall you can't even
and
see
then give him twists.
So I can have one.
Guys,
me and Baron incidentally became Twinkies at PAX East. Same shirt, same pants, same shoes almost. It was freaking hilarious. It was freaking. But listen, last but not least, we have one of the newest additions. Our first time guest at Level 1's Gaming Double XP podcast.
I think he meant zingers, guys. I think he meant to say
oh
zingers.
my God.
Yeah.
Zingers are top tier. Listen, first time guest on the podcast, Kay Asante. What's going on, my brother?
Thank you for having me, lady and gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
Hey.
We out here.
Listen,
thank y'all so much. This is great.
From
this
the
is great.
Gaming
I'm happy to
Circle
be here.
podcast, Kay Asante, man. First off, how you living? What you playing right now? And then tell us about you. Just quick synopsis about you and your podcast.
Sure. Let's see. I'm a busy man these days. I'm hoping I'm playing more games, but these days that becomes quite difficult because work is picking up. But that's some boring stuff. But yeah, I'm a host of the Gaming Circle podcast. Me and my brother, Mr. Everborn Saga. You've seen him around. He's always spitting slander at somebody. Always spitting slander at somebody. But yes, these days I find myself playing a lot. I fluctuate between some good indies and the big game people are playing. And it's actually apt that you have me here today. I am quite the handheld gamer. So people talking about we need some handhelds. We could talk about that. I have been playing a game by the same company, the same developers that made a game called The Cub. The Cub, small little indie game. It's about the world ending, and humans leave the Earth, go to Mars, come back, and now they are the aliens on the planet. And the people who stayed kind of have evolved. So you're like you're almost a little monkey boy, and you're like traversing the world, and they're trying to catch you and study you and all this. Crazy, weird little indie game. It was awesome. It came out, I think, last year. And they just came out with another version, which has similar vibes, similar assets. And this one is going to be on consoles and stuff. I think it's on Xbox and PlayStation, all that, called High Water. If you haven't heard of it, I'm sure you may have seen it in one of the Xbox presentations. I'm pretty sure that's where I first caught wind of it. I've been playing a little bit. Super interesting. One of those pick up and go, put on a handheld, no problems. It plays rather well. And then, of course, when I have some time and I want to sit down these days, I want to be playing some Dragon Dogma 2. But I'm sure
Yeah.
people been hearing a lot about that these days. So there you go.
Listen, I appreciate you coming out and rocking with us. Like we tell our guests who are super cool like yourself, now that you are here in the house, feel free to go to the refrigerator at any time. Just don't drink out the orange juice carton. Grab a glass because Hugger will beat us up if you
That is
do.
rude. That is rude. Yes, I
That is
understand.
rude.
If you enjoy the content, if you laugh even a little bit, hit that like button because that is the best way to help us out. It is free 99 to hit that like button. Subscribe if you really enjoy the content. And if you just want to support Level 1 Gaming and all things that we do, please go to lv1gaming.com. Check out some of our original pieces and our news articles. And also consider becoming a channel member, as that helps us out a lot as we're going to different conventions and we're doing things to help grow. We grow with you guys. We grow because of you guys. So thank you guys so much for wanting to support LV1 Gaming. We have a lot to talk about tonight. So I'm going to jump right into a topic, okay? So Iron Man, Bruce Banner, Hulk, Black Panther, Loki, Spider-Man, Rocket Raccoon, Groot, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Storm, Luna Snow, Penny Parker, Magic, Namor or Namor, Magneto, Mantis, the Punisher, Star-Lord. These are your initial characters for the newest officially announced game, Marvel Rivals. Now, this game has been rumored for a little bit. Some stuff had been leaked out. I want to say a few days ago, we actually saw this list being leaked out on Reddit. But Marvel's Rivals has finally been announced. I believe it's coming out in May. The closed beta signups are here. It is a 6v6 hero shooter a la Overwatch. And it looks super fantastic. It looks like it's going to only be PC at launch. And then eventually we may see it come to consoles. Now, I do want to start with our guest, Kay Asante. Did you get a chance to look at the Marvel's Rivals trailer? And if so, what did you think about what we saw? Because for me, it looked super dope.
So I will preface this by saying I'm a Marvel zombie from way back. So if you got Marvel in your stuff, chances are we'll check it out. I am a little boy that is squealing with glee every time I get a chance to watch X-Men 97 with my kids. So I'm in the bag. You got me, right? I hate card games. I play Marvel Snap, so that tells you what it is. I'm not a multiplayer versus gamer. I enjoy a nice campaign, a beginning, a middle, and an end. But just because you have some of the characters that I love, I'm gonna give this a shot, and it looked really good. I love the art style. Looks like my question is why? Where has this been? Like this should have been easy. This should have been done a long time ago. This is Marvel's Overwatch. Fantastic. Should have been last year or the year before, but it's here now, and it looks great. I'm definitely gonna give it a shot. Yeah.
Hugger, I want to swing to you because I know you used to play a lot of Overwatch. Because when you see this, you instantly think Overwatch with a Valorant style cover on top of it, right? It looks really good. The only thing about the hero list is I'm like, okay, how does the balancing work? Are we going to have maybe Loki? Is he like the healer class? Because we got the obvious ones when we talk about the Hulk, right? That's going to be your tank. Groot, he's going to be a tank. My only interesting thing is how we're going to balance it out with far as healers and support. But Hugs, your thoughts on Marvel Rivals? Marvel's rival? Marvel Rival.
Yeah.
Close enough.
I mean, they just officially announced that Blizzard is no longer doing what they promised with Overwatch 2, which is they've killed completely the single player content. So people are kind of like abandoning en masse. And this game looks like it fits that vibe for a lot of people. And it's Marvel. And let's be honest, Marvel, they're kind of like non-main titles have done really good. Because I know, was it you, Dallas, that played Midnight Suns and reviewed it?
Oh, what a game. That's an amazing game. Oh, I love that game.
I didn't review
but
it.
You were the hype man for it.
Yeah,
because I was hesitant.
It was a big deal for me for a while.
I'm looking at the other games that the NetEase games have made, and they've played Naraka Blade Point, which if you are a battle royale person, you love Naraka. They've done Lord of the Rings mobile games, Dead by Daylight mobile. They've done other Marvel projects, Eve, Echoes. Like they know what they're kind of doing. I don't know what to expect. They've done couple Marvel games actually, starting back to looks like 2022. But I think they got it. I think it's gonna be a solid experience. It's not gonna be groundbreaking because it is a character shooter, but it's probably gonna fill that weird void that we don't have with Overwatch anymore. Because people, like I said, even though Overwatch just announced a new character today, people are like, "No, you
I
lied to
could
us."
care less.
Our yeah,
I
like
fully
I don't care.
abandoned Overwatch. Like
Same here.
I fully abandoned it. And I think, and I'm gonna switch over to B, but I think what helps this game off rip is that it's free to play. I think that was
Yes.
a good move. I'm worried at any time a major name like Marvel has a free to play game. What are those microtransactions going to look like? When I first heard about this game, I expected a $30 title with some microtransactions. But now that it's free to play, like we're talking these, they have to make money, right? So the microtransactions might be a bit aggressive, along with obviously a battle pass, a paid and a free one. You're definitely going to see that. But B, I'm gonna swing over your thoughts on Marvel Rivals. Is this something that is exciting, or is it a thing to where, well, it's a hero shooter that has Marvel attached to it, and it's Marvel characters, so it's gonna get the hype just based off of the heroes, not necessarily the gameplay that we saw.
So I haven't been able to dive too deep into it, but if going off of what Hugger said, if it's the people who made Naraka Blade Point, we're gonna be more than okay. Because when I was watching it, I was like, this is a lot of melee characters. Like most
It's
of
a
the
lot.
people who are fighting are melee. But then that's what I was kind of worried about. But the moment that it's the people who did Naraka Blade Point, we're fine. Like if you guys want to know what you're going to experience, go to the arena maps in Naraka Blade Point. I've put in quite a bit of time into Naraka Blade Point, and knowing that I'm going to be getting some dope chaotic melee combat with potential blocking, because there's got to be, if you're going to have this much melee, there has to be some form of blocking, which they do very well in Naraka. And I'm talking about mechanics as if they showed a lot, which they haven't, but even in Smash Bros, you got blocking. So like it's safe to assume that there's gonna, as much melee is going on here, there's going to be blocking. Now, in terms of microtransactions, as somebody who's spent quite a bit of money in Valorant, if they go Valorant style, it's more than fine. Like
What does that mean? As
okay,
someone who doesn't play Valorant, what does Valorant style microtransactions mean?
a battle pass with cool artsy stuff, and skins. So think about, like, from what I understand with Marvel Snap, and Asante, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You can get alternate versions of cards. You can get different foil cards. You can get different animations and whatnot. There's
Mhm.
like, if you got, go check out Valorant Battle Passes. There's always content coming out every quarter, and then they'll have in between quarter content where it'll be a whole new skin of guns. And you got to think, we're dealing with the comic world. So we're
Yeah.
going to have a wide variety of you're going to be seeing people selling their accounts like, hey, I got the season
Oh,
1
100%.
Gambit. Like you're not going
100%.
to be able to get this skin. So for me, once again, as somebody who plays Valorant and Naraka Blade Point, knowing that if they go that route with the if they kind of lean towards that, we're fine. It won't be bad at all. It's gonna be expensive.
Uh,
Let me
I'm
let
with
me
you,
let
B.
me
It's gonna
let
be
me be
crazy
honest.
expensive.
It's gonna be because I've
price
spent.
that battle pass.
Oh no, the battle pass. Okay, this is how they get you. So the battle pass is gonna be easy. You're gonna
Yeah.
spend $10, 10, $15.
No, Battle
Easy.
Pass will be
Boom.
like Call of Duty, where if you play in game, you can earn credits for
You
the
can
next
earn
Battle
enough to
Pass.
get it. But where they're
Mhm.
gonna get you is they're gonna launch the $50 to $100 item skin pack that you're
Mhm.
not gonna want to miss. It's gonna have your classic X-Men TV show skins, or the brown
Oh,
Cyclops, or
bro.
like you're
That's how
no,
they
but you
got me on
see,
Snap. That's how they got me on
see
Snap. The
this
game itself is
that
fine, but
yeah, the game,
the little skins, oh boy, they get you. I
you
had to
don't want
get
to
that
miss
monkey off
it.
my back after a while. It was too much.
Yeah, bro, Valorant, I've spent 15, $20 on a gun
Mhm.
that doesn't make me play any better. It just looks badass.
Mhm.
Like I've
Mhm.
done it. So they're gonna make their money because you're gonna have weirdos like me. Like they're going to make their money. So I think this is actually gonna be dope if they stay honest like that. Now, if they start getting into you move faster if you have this ability, if they go anything that way, it's gonna be a problem, and you're gonna run into a what fell off, but a lot of people still kind of talk about what was it versus
Come on,
the
multiverses.
multiverses.
Multiverses. Yeah.
Like people's, you don't, as long as they stay away from you're stronger if you have this, they're fine. Perfectly fine. Because we live in a world with Naraka Blade Point and Valorant. Like as long as they stay there, you're fine.
Shout out to the homie Adidas Zero with the follow super chat saying, "What up, y'all? What's going on? She appreciate you coming through and rocking with us. You know, this thing about and Dallas, I gotta get to Dallas. This thing about this game only being on PC, being on Steam, is gonna tie into a topic later with Xbox that I find extremely interesting, right? Because we can see some things that we would never thought we've seen before. But D, I want to get your thoughts on Marvel's rival. But again, shout out to Adidas Zero with the follow super chat, and also being a channel member, showing support and love to Level One Game, man. We really appreciate the love, my boy, as always. But Dallas, your thoughts on Marvel? God, Jesus, man, Marvel
You got
rivals.
this, baby.
We believe.
It's a weird thing for me because you know how much I love Marvel and Spider-Man in particular. But I'm a tad worried. The developer has not made it. Okay, so this is not a requirement for me to like a studio. I'm just saying they have not ever made anything that I fell in love with. You know what I mean? Like nothing that I was ever like, oh, this is very cool. I like it so much I'll spend money on it. I haven't seen that yet.
You don't like Naraka Blade Point?
I don't like Naraka Blade Point enough to spend money on it. I didn't fall in love with the game. I love, you know how much I love like the whole
That's what I'm
distinction,
saying.
though.
That whole thing. But
The
it was like
I like it, but not enough to spend money on it. That's a good
It's
distinction.
free.
That's the best way I could put it. I like it. I just don't like it enough to spend my hard-earned couple dollars on. You know what I mean? But people are not as careful as they used to be with the Marvel IP. People are not as careful with that thing. Anything can happen. And if I was disappointed by the Avengers, which was it was a game in a genre that I enjoy. It was the style of game that on paper, if you tell me all the features of Avengers, on paper, I would think like it's the best thing in the world. And it wasn't even that I was completely disappointed by the game itself, but by the aftermath of the release, right? And I don't see a reason why this wouldn't happen. As a matter of fact, the next game, I don't remember if it was before or after, but the next game that I had like a big, oh, I really got to play this thing about it was Ultimate Alliance 3, was it? Yeah, it was Ultimate Alliance.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Y'all know how that turned out. Y'all know how.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry for that, man.
Yeah, and that was actual disappointment. I wasn't as disappointed by Avengers. It was just the writing was on the wall from the way that they handled the game post-release. In this case, nah, I'm good. But free to play is the price is right. So you got me messed up if you think I'm not going to at least try it. I'm going to at least see,
minimum. Now, I almost guarantee you. Shout out to the Sly Crow when he says it's going to be a founder pack pre-order. I guarantee you that's a thing. That Joker is going to happen. Number one. Number two, because I'm watching, because Hugger always does dope stuff and playing the trailer and on the overlay. I do love how Loki can steal characters and become characters. I think that's super dope. But number three, I want to ask you guys a question. Thinking about because all of us have a love for Marvel. It's hard to be in geek culture, in nerd culture, and not like Marvel, not have watched X-Men or anything like that, right? Thinking about the roster that we have, give me one character before we switch topic. Give me one character that's unannounced that you would love to see in this game. Let's start with you, Asante.
I mean, so there's the cheap character, Professor X, obviously. That could be your healer class. That's a cheap giveaway. Did I see Wolverine in there? Because if he's not, that's a travesty.
I didn't see Wolverine.
Yeah, I don't.
So
think
there's that.
They will save him for
There's that.
crossover when the main game releases.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was like, oh, it's a lot of
or
Megan.
when the movie comes out with Deadpool,
Yep.
there's a lot there,
Oh,
but yes, yeah. So
yep.
Deadpool, Professor X, and
Yeah.
Wolverine. There you go.
What about
Yes.
you, Hug? That one character that hasn't been, that's not announced, that you would love to see appear in this game.
Honestly, give me Black Widow because people talk so much shit on her. But so this is like the version. It seems to be a different world. There's so many versions of Natasha where she actually has the super soldier serum. Give me that. She needs redemption after Avengers, please, please.
Unfridge her,
back-
ladies and gentlemen. Unfridge her.
Bring back Gamora, but not her.
Yeah, bring back
Listen,
Gamora, but not really.
Oh man.
hey, chat, drop your characters so I can read them out. The characters that's not announced that you want to see in the game. I already see Bordy say, "We are Venom."
She
She
we
wants,
know
she
why she
wants
wants it.
Venom. She wants
Y'all,
the
we got
19 inches of Venom.
we
Was
can
it
get
19? Was it
Yeah,
16?
it was 19.
The 19
I
inches
you
of
just-
Venom.
I think
If you
about
stand
this.
up too
We got
tall.
Mantis and not Wolverine.
Mm.
Mantis. Don't get me wrong. Like Guardians of the Galaxy did popularize the
I
character.
think it's
Not
I
that
think it's a
much.
balancing thing because you want to get a good
She's gonna
amount of,
be a
because she's
killer.
definitely gonna be she's a support character, right? So I think it's a balancing thing. I think that's why we got a Mantis, not a Wolverine.
You know, it would be smart for them to introduce the Eternals, reintroduce the Eternals characters, and kind of like, oh, we like these characters, drum up the hype for that movie because that movie was actually decent. I know people
was
hate on
good.
it; it was pretty good.
Second one
I
got
enjoyed
canceled,
it.
by the way.
Yeah.
People didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, B.
Well,
What's
I don't
what's your
think
one
we-
character that's not in this game that you would love to see?
I think another tank would be like Juggernaut. Juggernaut. would
You
be a-
stole mine.
Oh, well then,
That wasn't my
well
guy.
then, my bad.
No,
Then
you
Never
good.
mind.
Psylocke.
No, you good.
Psylocke would be another good one.
Ooh.
She would be pretty dope. A good area of effect person. I could see her running that.
What about you,
You know
D?
who could be a good trickster style character? Like really like that you
Legion.
won't think of as a trickster?
Wong.
America Ferrera.
Oh yeah, they could do that.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
like that.
Super good, like teleportation, or it can drop you through a portal and you don't know you gotta like that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Can
I
they
like
bring
that.
Lupita Nyong'o's character from Black Panther, Nakia?
Oh,
Because she just beat ass.
Nakia.
Can I have Shuri? Can I have all these?
I do think they have an opportunity to give us kind of like, how when Avengers came out, we had Thor, then they gave us,
Oh, the skins. Yeah.
just a so we could see if we saw give me a character, Black Panther, they also might be
Nakia.
one for the White Wolf.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. I think there's an opportunity to do things like that. But I do think, like Baron was saying, I think Juggernaut just as a tank, because what people don't talk about is the destructibility. Like the environments are destructible, right?
Mhm.
And you getting the Juggernaut just charging through, that could vastly change a fight in a bunch of different ways, right? So
The
give me
Red
Juggernaut.
Guardian. If you haven't
Ooh.
And they
watched,
had a
The
catchphrase
Red-
too.
if you
Yeah.
haven't watched Black Widow, that's Natasha's dad, Alexei. He's a tank. He's a superhuman. He was the first Russian superhuman, so he's big and beefy. He's a Reinhardt, true and through.
Yeah.
You could almost interchange Hulk and Red Hulk just as like an extra skin, and that way it sort of gives you like those extra characters without giving you extra characters in a way.
But
Didn't
no,
you
but I
hate
think
that when
really-
they did it in Avengers?
No,
Huh?
he loved it. He
Dude,
loved
you
it. He
hated
loved
that when
playing
they did
four
that in
different
Avengers.
artists.
I mean,
He was
as a like you're not actually giving us that character because you're giving us another. I'm not saying not give us characters, right? But that's a cheap way to give us extra characters. I'm just saying.
But
As a
that's not what's
skin.
gonna happen. No, they're gonna sell
As a
you those skins, sir. You're
No,
gonna
hell
have to
no.
buy. You're gonna buy Red Hulk
Listen,
for $12, bro. I'm
And he
telling you,
plays
it's
just
gonna
I
like
need
the
you
happen.
to
Hulk.
not say that
Yeah,
on this
that's
be
what's
podcast.
gonna
pissed.
happen.
No,
Let me
thank
tell you
you.
why. I need you to not say that on this podcast because I, as a big enjoyer of Dragon Ball Z games, need them to not do that. Finally not do that in a Dragon Ball Z game. So like just once before this game comes out, before Sparking
Alice
Zero
been
comes
through
out,
it.
let's act like you didn't say that.
Hey man,
And also, Bordy
Yeah,
said
it's
Jubilee,
crazy.
and I agree.
Jubilee.
it would be dope. Jubilee
It's
would be
crazy
good.
how
Yeah.
we talk about the whole character thing, and I'm gonna change subject, but I got to bring it up really quickly because Dallas brought up Dragon Ball Z. How all the characters are all just Goku with different hair.
Yo,
Wow.
yo.
Tell me, I'm like
I don't
every
even know
human and
how.
Saiyan is just Goku with different hair.
Every human and Saiyan is Goku with different hair.
That's so
How-
It
weird.
look
I
at
feel
it.
like this is
I'm very
Pokemon all
interested
over
to know
again.
how.
I'm not
Go.
part-
I will
not
find
having
you
this
a clip of someone who took the face model and they made it bald and they put Goku's hair, Vegeta's hair, Gohan's hair, and it's all the same. I'll
I'm
find
not
it for you and
doing
I'll send it to you.
The character
Yamcha?
model is the
Not-
same.
Not after Toriyama's passing. I'm not having
So
this.
it is now when I put my 2
I'm
weeks
not. I'm not
in,
slandering it.
or
I'm not slandering
like
it, but it's a fact
Hugger
that all
Bear,
humans
which
and
one of y'all
Saiyans
is
are
getting
just
off today?
Goku. They're all
Cause
Goku.
nah,
I know,
Even
bring it back.
Tien.
absolutely not.
Let's move
Even
on. You're
Tien is
not
bald
gonna.
Goku with an
collect the
eye.
Dragon Balls and wish you didn't have such ignorant opinions. That's no.
All right, now, when I show you this video, you and your animated ass gonna come on here and you gonna apologize like, dang, Fame was
I'm gonna
right.
change my hair so I can just be Goku. It says
I
that's
wanna
the
look like
logic, since
Goku.
that's
Oh,
how it
dang, I'm
works.
dying.
I'm gonna change my hair.
I'm gonna show you.
I just
Wait
want to
till
be
the show is
Goku for a
over.
little while. Since that's clearly
Wait.
how it
Point
works,
all your
just
slanderous
let me be
chats
Goku.
to Fame.
So
because
isn't
we
that-
didn't say
Isn't
that.
that the sign of
Fame.
somebody who truly loves a show? Because if you can't rip on your favorite show, are you? Because I watched Cowboy Bebop recently, and I'm like, God, this show is ugly at certain points.
Not
Like,
the
you can't stay
androids,
on
Morty.
model.
The humans and the Saiyans are all just Goku with different hairstyles.
Yeah.
I'm not
Boo is
having
just
this
pink
talk with
Goku.
you.
I gotta turn
No,
around.
I'm
to
saying-
face
I didn't
this.
say
It's
boo.
just Mohawk Goku.
I didn't
Boo's
say
just
boo.
Mohawk
I didn't
Goku.
say none of the angels. I said
Boo's
humans
just Black
and
Goku,
Saiyans.
Goku, if you will.
Broly is buff
Is it safe
Goku
yet?
with different hair.
I'm not doing this with you, sir.
Is it
Oh
safe?
my
Paris is cat Goku.
It-
No.
I'm not gonna ask about Mr. Popo. Let's move on.
Oh,
Mr.
no.
Popo,
No.
Mr.
Oh,
Popo
boy.
is
Stop.
racist 30s Goku. No, I'm playing. I'm
Okay.
playing.
Okay.
Just humans and
That
Saiyans.
little-
I'm gonna
that
move on.
little
I'ma-
TV show in
I'll move on. Mr. Popo is not black. He's a Jin.
Mhm.
That's facts. But I'm moving on. Okay.
True.
Mar-
So
I'm
Shaq
gonna
is Mr.
list a
Popo.
couple of games. Marvel Rivals, The Last of Us Part 2, God of War 2018, Helldivers 2. Right? They have something in common, right? They're all on PC, they're on Steam. Right? Some of those games are also on PS5. Some of those games are PlayStation 5 first party exclusives. But they're also you got games like Ghost of Tsushima. It's about to be on Steam. Over the past few days, it's seemingly that Microsoft / Phil Spencer is hinting that we could possibly be getting other stores on the Xbox console, right? So a game like Marvel Rivals that is on Steam, if Steam is available on the Xbox, does that also mean that Marvel Rivals, The Last of Us, I mean, we're going to get into the weeds here, right? Are these games also going to be on Xbox? Kay Asante, I want to start with you, right? Number one, your thoughts on this possibility. And number two, the impact it could possibly have of Xbox allowing storefronts like Steam, storefronts like Epic to be on its console. And mind you as well, mouse and keyboard is up and running on xCloud. Your thoughts, Asante?
So you are going to either like or hate that you brought me on the show today, because this has been something myself and my partner have been advocating for since our first show. Even before it wasn't sexy, we've been like, it's gonna happen. Y'all gonna watch it. It's gonna happen. And we're technologists. I do a lot of tech during my day. Microsoft uses hypervisors to do back compat for their games. So basically, they have 3 operating systems running on the Xbox. So like you look at the Xbox, you think it's a console. In fact, it's just operating systems. Windows is one, as you know, an operating system. They have specialized operating systems that run, the Xbox One gen, the 360 gen, the OG Xbox, and your dashboard, right? So way back when, I theorized that all you need to do, because the tools they use is a thing called Hyper-V, but it's not the retail version, it's their special sauce version. All you need to do is disassociate that hypervisor from the console, and you can put it on this. You could put it on your PC. You could put it wherever humans are, because all it is just running on Windows. Right now, people know a console because as soon as you turn it on, it loads up that hypervisor and you think you're in a console. It can be wherever they choose it to be. So if they're sick and tired of losing the console hardware game, just disassociate the hypervisor, put it on this guy, and now you have your console with you wherever you go. We've been talking about this for years now. People have pushed back, and it's not going to happen. It's happening. It's going down. I am like, and when that day happens, I'll be hilariously ridiculous on X because I'll be taking one of those pimp walks with the hat real low because I got receipts from like 2021. Like I've been talking about it for a long time. But yes,
So
it is good.
Xbox
Oh,
on
please.
the Nokia Engage.
There you go.
Wow.
That's what I heard just now.
Yeah. On the Nokia Engage, on your cell phone. Well, on your cell phone, technically, you could do that right now on the phone. But yes, I believe that there's a world where that will happen. They're sick and tired of like the Windows UI getting in the way. If a cheap plug, if you see my Twitters, I just posted a real thing that I just did. You can make a front end that makes it look like a console anytime. Anybody can do that today, right? And I was just fiddling with one in an app called Play Night that lets you do that customization.
Yeah.
All that is there,
baby.
right? Exactly. All that's there and all that's available. They just need to disassociate it from that thing as a console, right? They're turning their enemies or competitors into partners as they always do. So now what do you see? They're pimping PlayStation's wares. They're calling them partners instead of competitors. This is how you see that one console future coming to materialize. I believe that soon enough, how are they doing this? People say they're bringing it on Xbox. Yes, they are, but they're going to have to this would not be like a console version of the store. This would be hiding Windows on a console because then literally it's just Steam, one game, the PC version, just profiled for a console, right? So if you happen to be on here, you can play the same thing you happen to be on the console, which people say it's a console, can't be the same. They're all x86 devices. They're literally Windows machines that have been locked to one profile in your living room. So they're just sick and tired of keeping two different environments alive. All they need to do is just get rid of the Xbox environment and just load that environment, that front end UI, onto any device you want to. Like we've been DIYing that thing for years. Now it's time for them to do it proper at all the stores. It's a beautiful thing. It's gonna happen. We've been theorizing it forever, and it's going to happen. I'm so excited for it. Yeah.
Asante, let me ask you this. With games like The Last of Us 2 and these PlayStation first party titles being on Steam, if this was to come to fruition where Xbox consoles you booting up into Steam, right? You have Steam on your Xbox. Is there any world to where Sony doesn't find a way to block this, to where their first party titles aren't theoretically running on an Xbox console? Because you could see if that happens, the Xbox hardware is going to shoot through the roof, especially with the next console, if it truly is the biggest generational leap, right? If that's that console, the most powerful console in the world, right? I know that's just semantics that companies say, right? Words companies say.
Sure.
But it can run these PlayStation games. Would that hurt Sony to where Sony said, you know what? I don't like this. I'm going to find a way to block this because I don't want our first party titles on which would still be competitors' platform.
So, and when all this information started and Microsoft was talking about they're putting their games on their competitors' platform, people were up in arms, right? And I said this, and I posted it on many chats, and I made many super chats, and every time I did it, people looked at me like I had two heads. I said, we are the horseshoe makers, and the Jetsons just entered the upper atmosphere. Like you are no longer the audience. You are no longer the demographic they're shooting for. Our kids play on tablets that run on potato hardware, and it's still fine. They are not like besmirched by that idea of ownership. Like what owning what? It's on there. I'm playing it. It's done. I move on, right? And because of that, they are more of an enticing demographic than we ever will be. We still have that sense of ownership BS that we try to keep up with. It's ridiculous. It does not make the money they need it to make. Right?
That's
So
very interesting concept. They are not that statement. They're not besmirched by the concept of ownership. When we
don't own anything.
Man,
we don't own anything. Like who has read that 18-page EULA? You don't own anything. You have the license to potentially use it until they decide to take it away from you. right? And we still have this sense of ownership. We have this forever physical disc that has a hex code that gives you access to a game, and you think the whole game is on there, right? They've been lying to you for years at this point. Yeah, you don't own that. It's just a nice paperweight that they can choose to remove from you when they want to. So as the world is moving away from that paradigm, they are going full board. That's, I think, why they're turning competitors into partners. So like to the question of PlayStation specifically, they don't have the infrastructure that Microsoft has, right? And they know it, right? And Microsoft also knows that when you play that tit for tat game with PlayStation, you're not going to win because they are the best at that specific game. They've been doing it for years. Like without PlayStation, Sony is in a detrimental way. They will not let that thing lose. Whereas Microsoft can literally look above it, turn them into partners. We can pimp your wares whenever you want. We'll put your storefront on our box. They can own the planet where the battle's fought. They don't have to be part of the battle, right? They can be the actual ecosystem where everyone comes to play. Because when they do the tit for tat thing, they're tying 3 hands, fingers, toes behind their back when they literally own the entire ecosystem. They've just never leveraged it, right? So, like, I understand that people remember the Sony of old and the PlayStation and the Microsoft of old, and they're like this dog and pony show, this fight. And I don't mean that literally. Forgive the pun, the dog and pony show. I don't mean it like that. Or I guess I could have called it the bot and pony show. That's
the bot and pony show. There you go.
Right?
New show coming in level 1 game.
Right.
That's Asante, the bot
That
and pony
actually
show.
sounds like a good podcast.
You know what I'm saying? But that's where we are, because us 80s babies were literally like trained on Nintendo doesn't what Genesis does and Nintendo don't and all this crap. So we've always been at that.
Sega does
back
what
and
Nintendo
forth.
don't.
Exactly. We've been always trained on that. So now it looks like Microsoft is stepping away from it and people are genuinely upset, right? But the market has moved on. Even Sony themselves say that this console thing is not enough anymore. They're putting their games on PC, right? What do you call it? Helldivers that you mentioned, which runs on Azure Cloud. Funny enough. So every time they make money, Microsoft is like, cha-ching, right? It's on PC now and it's doing gangbusters. There is a world, like if you look around, Microsoft has a lot of partners. Dell is a partner. HP is a partner. They make laptops just like they do, but then they price themselves out of the market just so their partners can be comfortable. They are turning PlayStation into a partner, right? They have one of the best pre-ordered games in Sea of Thieves on PlayStation. They are slowly, and by the way, the people who used to be the console warriors at PlayStation now find themselves retired, right? You have people in the room whose priority is to make money. So all Microsoft has to do is say, stick with us, make some money. That's all it's about. And the WWF back and forth war that you all fight or we all fight is out the door because it doesn't make dollars. It just doesn't, right? So I hear you on the fact that it'll make people upset and they'll go, oh, I don't want to put this on the platform or whatever. But that was yesterday's fight. We're all old. Like I started that and I got grades on right now, right? The kids coming up don't care. They just want their games. And as long as they work together, like the best analogy I found on that is if Jay-Z and Nas release an album at the same time, they both ain't getting that money. So they wait until one's done and then the other one does. So then everybody's money is in their pocket, right? It's a partnership. And that's where they're headed right now. We may not like it, but that's the world.
B, I'm gonna switch over to you, B.
You already know what I'm gonna say.
How much of a game changer would Steam? Epic is one thing, right? But Steam, because you got pretty much every game is on Steam. Steam is the #1 PC storefront. It's probably the #1 gaming storefront, right? And now it has PlayStation first-party titles. How big of a game changer would that be if you can just boot up your Xbox? Because that would make me play my Xbox a whole lot more, right? I would never turn my PC on, right? If I could just play it on my Xbox. How big of a move, if it's real, how big of a power move is that?
It's absolutely shattering. It's gonna just shut. It's it's funny. This is just gonna be a beautiful transition into the world of PC only. Like that's really what this is. This is the slow walk to everybody playing on PC. But the beauty of it is it's gonna be a standardized system. So you're not gonna have to run into the issue of developing for 1.5 million different parts and specs. So this actually may be. Can you think? Let's just look at what Microsoft's already been doing, right? Funny enough, they've laid the groundwork for all of this. ID at Xbox, all those indie titles. That's very PC heavy stuff. You got mouse and keyboard are being a thing that's always been available on the console. You have all of these things are, and then the fact that you've made it clear, your president made it clear back in 2020 that your competition is Amazon and Google. It's no longer play like every little, and it's funny, when you hear it all now, and then you see news like this, it doesn't sound so far fetched. And now we're in a world where we
It definitely built
believe.
up to it.
No, but
Yeah.
but remember, over time it all sounded silly, but now when you see
Yeah.
it right now, it's like,
You're
oh,
like, oh,
so
It
this
sounded
is
silly
now
because
real.
we
we
were
see.
also kids at the time, and now we're adults that are like, "Oh, this is what's actually going to happen." If you have that
Yeah,
kid-like
and
mystique for a lot of stuff, it's like, okay.
yeah, and this is it's the future. I mean, my kids, like, like Asante said, man, my kids are on tablets. I bought them
Yeah.
Switches. They don't play the Switch. They wanted the
Mine
Ooh.
either.
Minecraft. They wanted the Minecraft that was on the tablet. Like
Yep.
I bought them a console for like my nephew kind of plays it, but he'll pick instead of playing Sonic on his Switch, he'll play Sonic on his tablet. Like that.
Touchscreen, touch controls. They love
Yeah,
it.
Mhm.
yeah. And my brother, and it's funny, my brother's like 26. He goes out of his way to play Call of Duty Mobile. Like that's another thing a lot of folks ain't
Which
paying
Microsoft is
attention
about
to.
to go heavy in with Call of Duty Mobile. Watch
I know
out.
people, pretty I'm shocked we're not at a point where the way Xbox sells controllers that they're not selling them with already the phone attachment ready to
Yes.
go. Like truly
Yes.
shocked that that's not a standard thing you could buy right now.
Yep.
But
Yep.
believe me, that'll be the next thing. But yeah, so no, once again, this is going to be an absolute game changer. It's going to introduce a lot of people to Steam. It's going to be a big boon for indie games and titles on Steam. You're going to see a lot more controller support on Steam. Like this is going to be a thing that's going to it's going to
That part.
force it because you're not going
Hmm.
to want to miss out on that easy money. You
Mhm.
know how many $6 amazing games are on Steam? Like
Yeah.
that,
Bruh.
like right now, but a lot of
Yeah.
people will never see or touch because it's not controller supported, or they don't have a computer strong enough to play it in their eyes.
Mhm.
So now when you have this standardized console and all you do is just hook up your control, it's going to be across the board, and hey, here's a list of Steam games that are under $10 that are controller supported. Like if this, bro, now that I say
I'm
that out
the
loud, this is
controller
going to be
supported guy he talking
nuts.
about, by the way.
This is going to be
Oh yeah.
nuts.
Hmm.
Like,
Dallas.
Yeah, when
Dallas, let
everything
me
has the
ask
keyboard.
you, could you see PlayStation because let's say this is true and this is happening, right? You've already heard rumors of PlayStation possibly having a game launcher. Could you see them pull their titles because they are gonna do their own push to PC with their own game launcher?
I think they are just petty enough to do it. What I hope, what I
mhm,
would hope for is that they read the room. There's a lot of companies that I'm sure have like some random disruptive strategy in their pocket, and they just not doing it for whatever reason. Everybody's got their own reasons. It feels like that sort of situation there. Like if you got for one, people who PlayStation's like the default console now, right?
true.
The same way when we was kids, every
Get off
video
that
game was
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Same thing.
Yep.
Um,
Mhm.
and I don't know if the diehard PlayStation people or the people who play PlayStation because they like Madden and 2K. I don't know if those people are downloading this launcher and booting games up on mouse and keyboard. I don't think that's really a thing that's happening. So I don't really think you lose much in doing it. And like actually having the launcher and letting those two parts of your ecosystem live independently. But at the same time, once again, PlayStation can be just petty enough to do something
Yeah.
like that. So I can't call it either way.
Mm.
You're right. God, you're right.
I find it interesting before I swing to you, Hugs. If Steam is on Xbox and I buy a game on Steam, and Steam gets 30%, but I bought it on my
Oh, they have a
Xbox.
program. You can like write it if you notice a price change within 2 weeks of buying a game, Steam will refund you your price. They just don't tell you that.
Well, I guess my bigger question is Xbox at that point, are they just going to forfeit a cut because the game was bought on Steam
would
via
have
their
to.
console?
Okay,
If
Fame.
they're flattening everything out with getting everything onto their system, they have to universally do the same rules no matter where it is. So this is
So
it's a
this
good
means
thing.
Xbox's true only benefit is the hardware. Like they're saying we're going to have to.
That's
Mm.
not the case. As a matter of fact,
No,
Mm.
the
no.
hardware is like
It's
the
the
least
ecosystem.
Because
important
no,
part.
no, hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay,
Hear me
hold-
out.
let-
Hear me out. Because we all know software is where these companies make money. It's software, right? And I get Game Pass and all this stuff, right? But if you're going to allow Steam on your box, that means you're going to forfeit that third party support. You're going to forfeit
Have
instead
you
of me
used
buying
Have you used the
Dragon's
Steam Deck
Dogma.
before? Have you used the Steam Deck before?
No.
It is so like it is open-ended hardware. You can put anything you want on there, but it's so seamless, so convenient to just use their store. You don't want to go anywhere else. You can use whatever you want. You can install anything. But by the time you're in that Steam ecosystem, you're just like, I'm just gonna chill here. The benefit
And I
they
get
get is
that.
the ecosystem, not necessarily the
I get
games.
that.
It's the
But my question
ecosystem.
is,
Even
my
if they
question
only
is,
made
hold on, one second. I'm so sorry. My question is, and where I have a little bit of a disconnect, and if I'm wrong, please help me out. Okay, I'm using an example. Dragon's Dogma 2 just released, right? It's on Steam, it's on PlayStation, on Xbox, right? If I have an Xbox console, right, and I have Steam on my Xbox console,
Yeah.
that means Steam is getting the 30%. Not Microsoft, right? So Microsoft is going to say we're going to have to forfeit pretty much all of our third-party buyings because the only thing people are buying that's Xbox on this Xbox console is Game Pass. I'll lose because you're going to lose all your third-party revenue by putting another store on your console.
Now check this. You're talking. This is where we got to remember who we're dealing with here. You're dealing with Microsoft. You're dealing with Microsoft, who has no problem putting. If PlayStation allowed it, Microsoft operating system would be on PlayStation, right?
Like Frank's Red
now.
Hot, put it on everything.
Put it on everything, and they will eat. Because of course they'll work out some deal, bro. They did it with GameStop. Most people don't remember.
Because that's my question.
Well, hear me out.
If you're not trying to sell the box, where's the revenue coming from?
I got you. Hear me out. So remember, Microsoft did a thing with GameStop where they were selling Microsoft hardware, and then any digital product you bought through that hardware from GameStop, Microsoft got a very small percentage of every purchase made. So you would see something similar. So instead of the typical 30 split, you would see maybe a 27% split. And Microsoft is big enough to Microsoft would just take 3%. Bro, if you told Microsoft
Steam offered it,
they would. Cuz Steam is you it doesn't make sense when it comes to 10 people, but when it comes to 10 million and now it makes sense. Like in a room with only 10 consoles are the decision or the main thing, it doesn't make sense. And what do you mean I'm losing out on 27%? But 27%, but 3% of 10 million off of one major game.
And today, bro, by the way, they're not in consoles at all, right? With this, they also join console. So 3% of something is better than nothing at all.
Check this.
It is very much in Steam's interest to be.
Let me hit y'all with this one. Think about if you hit legacy titles. Let's say you immediately boot up the new Xbox in the Steam store, and the first thing that's on there is Counter-Strike, CSGO, and you got Half-Life 2. The first things you see on there, and then Team Fortress, right? Isn't that how it goes?
Wanted to play.
That's always been available, but you've never been able to play. Bro, the store markets for those are gonna be stupid. So once again,
I'm not saying it's big numbers, but does that three and I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying one side is better than the other. My question is, does that 3% of all those games outweigh the 30% of everything else?
Yeah, because you're losing the 30% game now. That's the reason they're doing it. They're losing the 30% game now. Currently in the real world we live in right now, it is a fact. The 30% game they lost. People thought Hogwarts Legacy was a PlayStation exclusive. You're not getting
Yeah.
all the major AAA titles coming to your console. So you've lost that 30% argument. So once again, like Asante said, that 3% of potential millions, because it's going to be in the millions.
Yeah,
If
oh
you
yeah.
tell me I have a stationary box that I can put in my room and connect to my TV in my bedroom and have my Steam library and play on my television, you
If
got
I
me.
could double chin out,
I mean,
oh my god, just
think about it this way, right? Right now, as I said before, Microsoft has partners in the laptop game, right?
Yep.
They make one of the
Mhm.
best Surfaces, the laptops in Surface out there,
And they don't
but it's
even sell
always
it.
twice the price
Yeah.
as an HP device. Why would they price themselves out of your pocket? They always do that
They
to
do it all
keep
the
their
time.
partners happy. And they're still spending the R&D costs to make them, but then they price themselves twice as high, maybe less CPU power, just so the HP one looks enticing. They know how to keep partners happy, and then they offset the cost by all the people that come into Windows, right? Their market, their basically their market of success, their benchmark of success is not exactly what ours is, right? Ours is always, where's the money at in our pocket? They have enough money to think generations ahead. Today,
Yep.
if we bring them all in, tomorrow we own them all.
Yep.
That's what's happening.
this is a
right now,
dark
right?
thought,
So
Fame, but
Mhm.
this is the crack epidemic. This is let's introduce it to them young, so the whole generation kind of like. I know that's such a stretch, but
But
like we're
but that's
talking
not
about
far,
iPads.
bro.
Mhm.
We're
It's
Yeah.
not
talking
far
about our
fetched at all.
kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
If
Mhm.
if
I
you
say
We were
this
introduce
to
them
the
into
say,
that
Game Boy
ecos,
kids. We were Game Boy kids. Now you got
Yeah.
tablet kids. Like,
Yeah.
bro.
bring them into
here's how I'm gonna bring this around. And then also because Hugger, you're gonna be very important to this part to end this and begin the next topic, right? You're gonna be very important to this, Hugger. I say all of this to say, I truly believe that if this Steam and Epic Store thing is real, it is a hardware push. Now, I say that to say, Hugger, as someone who primarily games on PC, would this entice you? Because the rumors are surfaced that Microsoft is looking to have a handheld.
yes.
As someone who plays on PC
Mhm.
primarily, now knowing that you can have all of those PC games and Game Pass on a Xbox hardware, would you buy it?
No.
Mm.
Simply for the fact I play most of the majority of games I play, I need mods for. So like I'll
Mhm.
play Sims with mods, and I cannot load the thousands of mods I have onto handheld. That's just not gonna work. I play RP. You cannot play RP from a handheld for GTA. So the games I play not gonna be on there. But bringing people into the ecosystem is what you want. And let me also, everybody's saying like getting Steam is the win. It is a win, but there is issues within Steam itself that Microsoft can help clean up. There is some like refund issues, general community issues that Microsoft, if they do have a partnership, which they probably will, which I don't even want to know what the contract is because that's going to be another ABK thing, and I'm not talking about it for another year. I I'll quit. I'll quit, Fame.
We're talking
I'm not talking
Activision
about it.
Blizzard.
We don't talk about her. Shh.
All
We
right.
don't know her. We don't talk. Mm-mm. But I think
We talk about
it'll
Bruno
be
here.
it'll be a win, but also you guys were talking about controller support. Controller support is not on Steam. That is on the developers themselves to make sure their games are controller support. Because Strolly put it in the chat. She has a 11.0 Go, and half the games don't work on it, even though they say it's supported. So that's the developers thing. But for people to be in the ecosystem to game seamlessly is what we all want. Because as much as I love my PC, when I have to spend a day troubleshooting why I can't run a game, it makes me be like, damn, I wish I played on console more. As long as it's seamless and easy for people, that's what's going to be the seller. And if they cut the fat, which this looks like it's going to be, cut the fat out, bring the launchers onto your system instead of buying through, and you, at least with this, it seems like, well, the big thing is you're going to get cross saves and cloud saves across Steam and Xbox, which is only available for a very select few games. If this is the true thing, if they are going to be, and Epic too. Epic has a lot of growing up to do, but she's got some achievements, she's got things to do, and this is gonna standardize it across. So we're gonna get more not cloud, yeah, more cloud saves, more cross saves, more cross play in more video games.
Mhm.
There's gonna be a lot of small things that are gonna come from this, even if it's not like a big thing. And PlayStation is petty enough to have their own launcher. We know that. On PC, girl, let me see. ESO's got its own launcher. Steam, GOG, Epic, itch.io. There's thousands of launchers. You guys are about to experience what we experience. And when I said, we had this conversation a while ago, fam, when I said, you were like, oh, all these launchers are like, wait till they come to console. And here they are. Be prepared. Y'all gonna have to get some PC level equipment like Play Night to be your main launcher so you can have the other launchers launch your game. Yeah. But it's gonna be fun. People are gonna get games.
Swing back. Oh, B, you have something?
No, and I was gonna say, so going back to the idea of this super console, I got a strong feeling they're gonna take care of that because a lot of this stuff runs through Windows natively anyway.
It's a hardware push. I
Yeah.
know Xbox hasn't pushed. Xbox has always pushed Game Pass. This thing with
There's a
Steam
hardware- this
and
would
this
be a
rumored
hardware
handheld, which I'm gonna get to Asante back to the handheld king, right? This thing is a hardware push. Microsoft is sick of getting their teeth kicked in hardware. And Asante, I'm gonna swing to you, right? If this handheld is real, how big of a push do you think this could be for Xbox? Because I'm telling you right now, if I could get all my Xbox games on the go without my controller or phone, I'm in there.
So I'll tell you this, and I don't know how much of a hardware push it is, and I'll tell you why, right? Because if what we're talking about here is really coming to fruition, I see it more as a software push than anything else. And by software, I mean their operating system, right? Whatever hardware finds itself is whatever hardware it finds itself. That software can find itself on the next ROG Ally. That software can find itself on the next Legion Go. And when you boot it up, it's still an Xbox, right? And I heard Hugga talk about how on PC it's different, but that's the PC of today. The PC of tomorrow, where Windows 12 basically blurs the line between console and actual PC game, whether you like it or not, you can change the shell and it boots into the Xbox OS rather than booting into a desktop shell, right? We can do that now on some of these front ends. They'll just do that officially. And when that is just one operating system, right? And I was asking if y'all have played the Steam Deck before. They basically have PC games there, and then they limit, they profile it for what the Steam Deck can do, right? If you want to go in the background and start tweaking as you do as a Windows as a PC gamer, you can do that. If not, you press play, it's playing. I have a 4090 liquid cooled machine right here. I played big games on this thing. I love that. But oh yeah, we do it. But it's also able to pick this up from here and put it here, and the same profile carries along with you, right? We were talking about what do you call it? Call of Duty, the mobile, right? You hear that Warfare is now the mobile version. Literally has all your purchases both on the console, like the big game is also on your mobile device. So when you're done, like when you're done playing that on your console or you're done playing it on your PC and you pick it up, the mobile variant of it still has every save, everything you've purchased, everything right there, and you're like continuing your game. Right? They're literally threading that needle, like, and I know what you're talking about mod support and whatnot. That is today's problem. Tomorrow that will not be a problem. Like even today, right now on this thing, I load a bunch of mods. It's got 64 gigs. It's got a lot of RAM, so you could do that. But in general, if they want to bring the PC player in as well, they just need to get away from the console parlance where everything is locked down into profiles that can't be unlocked by the developer, right? All they need to do is literally just give you that same PC game, but in a console format, right? It's not a console.
No price
that's where the waters. That's where the waters get muddy, right? But although even in that water, if you allow for PC stores to get in the mix, like you open the door to that. People are paying $70 for Dragon's Dogma 2. I played 41 because it was on a PC store somewhere, and I just picked it up for $41 day one. right? That changes that equation as well. I honestly think this is more just like their partners, like they do with the Surface, because they know if they price it accordingly and they price it competitively, maybe they'll start throwing Linux on their OS, and then they forego a bunch of customers. In this way, they'll give you the hardware you want if that's what you want. You want first party Xbox, you can have that, or you can have the Legion Go 2 that'll have the same thing running on it. Or you can have the Ally and all these other handhelds and other laptops and PCs and possible set-top boxes, all running the same damn thing. So it's not about their hardware. It's about the ecosystem, the Windows that goes everywhere you are, and as such keeps your gaming with you wherever you are. And you're a subscriber to Game Pass. You're probably buying microtransactions wherever you go. This is the deal, right? They want to sell you that Windows backbone because that's their strength. It's always been their strength.
Man,
Damn.
Windows is everywhere, bro. Like Windows is everywhere, and this whole world we're living in post Xbox melding into everything is as shocking as it was. It shouldn't have been because of who their parent company is. It's Windows.
Exactly.
Like this shouldn't have. As much as it shocked me, because I've said it and I'm gonna be quiet about it after this. Xbox could have forced PlayStation's hand with just Call of Duty alone. If they wanted to crush PlayStation, they could have did it with just making Call.
But they need them. They know they need them.
It's their partner,
right?
Yes.
How can you be the evil giant when you don't have anybody to hide behind, right? They need Sony to continue to be that, so they'll partner with them and let them be you want to have the console market?
Did you just call Xbox? Did you just call Xbox Moriarty? Did you just
definitely?
Yeah,
definitely.
Oh.
Definitely. Yes.
That's a Sherlock Holmes.
They're going to prop you up. They're going to prop you, of course. Yes. They're going to do to Sony what they did to Apple. Back in the day, Apple was on its knees. What did it do? Microsoft gave them money to keep them alive. They need you. Because if you're not around, then we're the one that people look at. Nope. We need to be able to hide and do what we do while you are in front. That's what they're doing. Sony will be a partner, not a competitor.
Game is cold.
It makes all the money.
It's crazy how different the gaming landscape is going to be over the next 5 to 10 years. It's going to look vastly different from the previous 5 to 10 years. And my only question is, who's going to take my money? Because it seems like Steam.
Welcome. Welcome, brother.
Yeah. Even Helldivers 2. What about Helldivers 2 on PC?
He has it on PC, Hugger.
So let's think about this real quick. You said who's going to take your money? It's going to be Steam, right?
Democracy.
I told you, every time Helldivers 2 makes any money, Microsoft is like, cha-ching. Imagine a world where Steam has the Azure cloud backing it for all its saves. Where does Steam
downloads are going to be so much
pay?
faster? The downloads.
But who does Steam pay though?
Yeah,
Microsoft.
Steam will pay Azure for their cloud services. So even if you just buy your games on Steam, they're still like, enjoy yourself. That's the world they live in. They will make money however you choose to play.
Can we acknowledge how much faster the downloads are going to be? Because Steam downloads are slow as hell.
Yeah, trash. Yes, absolutely.
It is horrible, bro.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much faster.
And they know it's horrible. So when you have multiple devices, they go, don't download from us. Just pull it over the network. It's faster.
Yep.
They don't even let you download it overnight. Like, so when I have a game on the big PC and I download it here, it pulls from there instead of downloading it because it's faster. It's crazy.
I keep everything on a portable SSD and I just run around.
There you go. And walk around and click it. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's really how he was at PAX. I got my SSD.
I was like, here's my SSD, bro.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
He's not allowed to.
Nope, that's my baby, bro.
Listen, D, you got the last word. Xbox handheld. Would you be on board?
So Baron didn't hear me tell him to be careful not to get, digital herpes or whatever.
Oh Lord.
It's gonna bring digital crabs. They give you new, whole new meaning to bugs in the system.
Not the 1 gig cough through the
Not
cold.
the Bugthesda. You
Bug.
Oh,
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah,
Who
you're
owns
gonna
Bug
damage
Bethesda?
your.
Ooh.
Oh, they've been around. That's why they got so many
Raid.
bugs. Not the
Raid.
Listen,
But
listen.
sorry, D, go ahead. Xbox handheld, you in?
I'm not gonna lie. I caught that just for the just to say I got it. Just to play around with it, just you know what I mean, just to do stuff on it, just for whatever thing that they say you can only get on this hand, whatever game they say you can only get on this handheld to get people to get it. I don't even care if it comes out 6 months later on every other platform. I just because that's what we do as nerds and video game enthusiasts. We buy all the propane and propane accessories. So
man. Talk
so
about
yeah,
it.
on the strength of that, I'd absolutely be down. Now past that, do we necessarily need it in a world where the Steam Deck and the Ally and all other things within in their vein exist? Probably not, but we don't need none of this shit. We do it because we nerds.
Amen.
And we like to spend money.
Money.
Mhm.
Shout out to boy, they call them STHDs.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Legendary Yobi, what's happening with you?
How are
Listen,
you ever
y'all,
Bordy messing with her?
y'all know what it is. At the end of the show, we like to give suggestions for stuff to watch and or play. And we love for the chat to do the same thing. So if you're still watching the podcast, number one, thank you. Thank you very much. Hit that like button. In the chat, drop a video game that you're currently playing, anime that you're currently watching, TV show or movie that you're watching that you think everybody else should be playing or watching, and we will do the same. D, I'm swinging back to you. What are your suggestions for the week, boss?
Oh man, now I can stop telling y'all to read the book, even though you know the book
Three
is
body
better
problem.
as it always is. Absolutely, three body.
Saw that coming.
It's out now. Yeah, it's from I've only seen like a chunk of the first episode, but already it's much different from the book. Like not super different, but like they keep the atmosphere and everything, but just little changes. Um, but they don't take away from the atmosphere. If somehow it feels the same as it did in the book, only a lot less Chinese, if that makes sense. Like it's conspicuously like culturally Chinese in the book, but and you just so happen to meet people from other countries along the
Oh,
way. This is more like opened up for everybody.
it's
Which
diverse.
I guess, you know, either way, however they want to do it. Also, there's this little fan film, because I'm that guy. There's this animated fan film called Dragon Ball Legends. It's pretty short, but it is amazing. And you'll know it's the right one when you see Goku and Vegeta grown up with Tails in the world tournament ring. It's just a dope fight to watch. It's not even all that long a piece of content, but it'll get you hyped for literally any other piece of Dragon Ball media. Which Sparking Zero is coming out pretty soon, and while you wait for that, play Dragon's Dogma 2. Thank you. I'm Dallas, and I approve this message.
Shout out to Bordy McBoard. She says, wonderful one-on-one. It's so painfully a Hideo Kamaya product. Beautiful Joe and Bayonetta all up through that game. Legendary Yobi says, just support level one games. Shout out to you, Yobi. Appreciate the love, my boy. He said his suggestion is that Nickelodeon doc, which is, bro.
I didn't think you was gonna say Nickelodeon. I thought that word was gonna end differently.
Bro. Drake Williams, shout out to Drake Williams. He always supporting level game. He says Diablo 4 dropping on Game Pass tomorrow. For TV shows, go watch Reacher. Reacher is fire. Reacher is fire. Fire. Let's see. The Slacker says, I don't get the hype of Three Body Problem. I'm on episode 2. He say, don't get the hype yet. Kay Asante,
Keep watching. Just keep watching.
I guess that
enjoy it.
What do you suggest people should be watching and or playing for this week?
Oh, let's see. So I am what is known as a grazer. So I always have a million things in the playlist, always doing like watching and playing different things. Let's do this. Let's do the shows first. So I will co-sign all that y'all have talked about because I also have watched Reacher. I think Reacher's amazing. I am rewatching Dragon Ball with my kids because Dragon Ball is part of our lineage, and my daughter was like, I see all these people drawing Dragon Ball. What's going on? And I had to tell her about the passing of Toriyama. and she started getting into it. So we're now playing and watching Dragon Ball whenever possible. So I'm kind of living through her eyes with that a little bit. I'm watching Dragon Ball with my daughter, and I'm watching like X-Men, OG X-Men with my son. So this is me living my best life over here. So there's that. People need to check those out. They still hold up, absolutely. On Netflix, Blue-Eyed Samurai. Don't know if y'all seen that.
That's legit.
If you haven't seen Blue-Eyed Samurai, you need to watch it. The director has been studying martial arts her whole life. Her brother is the fight coordinator who's been studying kung fu his whole life. They literally like reenacted all the fight scenes and then animated it. And the story itself is about when Japan first ever got their the first 4 Caucasian men that came out that were first set foot in Japan. And this is obviously a period piece. And one of them raped a woman and created an evil thing, which is a baby with blue eyes. And they'd never seen one before. And she was considered a monster. And I wouldn't say hilarity ensues. It is a straight up serious story. People need to watch it. It's amazing. I'm on that same train because after I watched Blue-Eyed Samurai, somebody said, oh, if you like Blue-Eyed Samurai, watch The Brother's Son. Watch The Brother's Son. It's also amazing.
The Brother's Son is dope.
Amazing.
I liked it.
It's amazing. And then after I finished watching The Brother's Son, I remembered a show that I had watched on Cinemax for a long time, and they brought it to Netflix. And yes, that's right, Cinemax. That old. Yes, that's right. That old. And it's now on Netflix. And like this is my push to get more people to watch it in the hopes that Netflix makes more. Called Warrior. I don't know if you have saw the Warrior. Yeah. It is like it's literally it was a pitch that was written by Bruce Lee before he died, and his daughter picked it up and basically has made the show. The show is what Bruce Lee would have been making, and there's even a character in the game in the show that looks exactly like Bruce Lee, acts exactly like Bruce Lee. It is Bruce Lee's magnum opus after he passed, and the show is insane. It is one of the best shows I've seen for a long time. I've seen it now, the whole, I think 3-4 seasons, twice. Watched it once all by myself, and then convinced the wife to watch it, and she does not love any of this stuff, and she was hooked. We watched it all the way through. I need everybody to finish watching it, hit them like buttons on that thing so they can make more. I need that show in my life. It is amazing. So Warriors, please check it out. TV, well, actually, let's go to games real quick. Games, there's a million games you can play. Dragon's Dogma, all these. I enjoy myself some really cool indies. So I'll tell you, I got a chance to interview the game director. So I was totally in love with the game, and I happened to call it out on Twitter, and he was gracious enough to come on and talk about it. It's a game called Cookie Cutter. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a very weird a platform game. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's kind of adult. It's got some things in it that will make you go, But it is so good. I got the chance to speak with Stefano, who was the game director from Italy. He came, he talked about it. That game has got style all its own. I have not seen a game like it. You can definitely tell that some games are made by committee, or they try to, shave the corners to make people happy. Nobody shaved any corners from this game. He made what he wanted. If you don't like it, then that's your problem. And it's amazing. You need to play it. It's cheap. It's a small indie game. It is fantastic. So there's that.
All right. Going back to the chat. Strolly, shout out to Strolly for being a level 1 gaming channel member. Says The Last of Us. Play it. Legendary Yobi says we suggest to get Hugger to the future. Listen, we talked about that. We are going to do everything we can to get Hugger. In fact, and now we got to keep in mind that's not a close or cheap trip from where she is in Canada. Listen, PAX East is a year and 2 months away. We're gonna start that, get that ball rolling, because if we want her there, we all need to come, because that's not close or cheap to come where she's coming from.
The cheapest events for me to go to would be anything based in Texas, because we have discounts, because there's Houston, I think, is our sister city, so it's cheaper for me to go to Houston, or Seattle is the cheapest, like, around.
So we gotta get
going within Canada.
Oh, let's start working on PAX West.
Start shooting money now. This all takes money, folks, and we're not ashamed or afraid to ask for it.
Shut up, Dawn. God damn.
Okay,
you're calling me out.
Listen, you think I'm lying? By next week, you're gonna start seeing the hug to PAX West. We got 6 months. We're gonna make it happen.
Yep.
But Hugger, speaking of, did I miss any more? All right, Hugs, it's on you. What you got?
Last night I bit the bullet and watched the Robert Pattinson Batman. Go watch it.
Mm.
If you love like the
Not bad.
gothic early 90s Batman,
Emo Batman.
oof.
Yeah.
Emo Batman. The only thing I wish, light a goddamn candle because that movie is dark, but it is good. I thought the Riddler was
Yeah.
terrifying. The CGI was not, it was there, but you couldn't really tell. And Robert Pattinson was like, if you only seen him in Harry Potter and Twilight, you're doing yourself a disservice. He was really good. Zoe Kravitz, she did not need to be in that movie because I mean her connection to Carmine Falcone, whatever. But like anyway, she did not need to be in that movie aside from that fierce walk she gives. She's hot. We all know that. Michelle Pfeiffer will always be OG, and Holly Berry, yes, she will be our favorite Catwoman forever. Anime, go watch Cowboy Bebop. For games, go play the Yakuza series. They're on Game Pass, guys. They're just
Ooh.
they're so good. There's like 8 games, and then the Infinite or Like a Dragon series. Go play those, please. Yakuza is such a good series. You need to play, please.
My fellow Zinger B, what you got?
Thank God for calling it zingers. I could live with that. But go and watch Banshee. If you have HBO or if you have Max, go watch Banshee. It is a completed show. Long story short, guy gets out of jail and magically, not magically, but gets into a situation where he has the opportunity to take on the role of take on the life of a sheriff, and he becomes a sheriff of a town called Banshee, and it just goes completely bonkers from there. And it's a very, very, it has Homelander. This is where I knew who Homelander was. His first major role that I knew him from was Banshee. And if you like him as Homelander, you'll absolutely love him as an anti-hero in Banshee. And to play, go play Unicorn Overlord. It is Ogre Battle's spiritual successor in every way, shape, and form. I mean, Ogre Battle 64. Like, not Ogre Battle, not March of the Black Queen or anything like that. No, this is Ogre Battle 64. Combat, the battlefield moving all at once, and then you pause and you get to pick what you want to happen. Simulated battles, and then there's a bunch of other mechanics and story and choice, and it's so wonderful. But yeah, go do that. But yeah,
Listen,
that's all I got.
I'm gonna be really quickly. For shows, go watch the Avatar, the last Airbender live action. Don't listen to the people who talk crap about it. It's really good. They did skip a lot of stuff, but it's really good. And for games, I'm gonna put a link in the chat right now. Right?
Oh,
This game isn't out yet. There's a link in the chat. Click that link and go tell them that Level 1 Gaming said we should check out your game. The game is called Pizza Bandit.
Black Myth will call.
And I know you're going to think for a second, Pizza Bandit. I don't want to play game about no Pete. Listen.
Wow.
If you go onto the YouTube, you'll see Baron just did a recent interview. If you're going to our shorts and TikTok, you will see me playing it. If you are a fan of the third person over the shoulder shooters, and you bullet hell and amazing gunplay, Pizza Bandit. I know you might be thrown off by the name. Click the link that's in the chat that leads to their Twitter handle. Go onto our channel, look at our interview, look at the gameplay. Trust me when I say Pizza Bandit is going to be a sleeper hit.
Yep.
That we don't want to be a sleeper. I want to let the world know about Pizza Bandit. Am I getting paid? Ain't no hookup from
Not yet.
Not yet. But go check out Pizza Bandit, and when you check it out, let the developer know the Level 1 Gaming sent you. That's all. The game looks fire. But we did hit our time. I don't need no uppercuts, left hooks, roundhouse kicks from huggers telling me, hey, in the show, bucko. I like my life as it sees fit. But listen, in the description, my brother Kay Asante's Twitter handle is there. And also the link to his YouTube is there. Make sure you guys go show my boy some love, show him some support my brethren in all of his endeavors. Go onto the channel. If you guys didn't know, we released some new information about Dune Awakening. Thank you to Funcom for allowing us to get a preview of this game with lots of new details that we released today at lv1gaming.com and on the YouTube. Depends if you want to read, if you want to listen. Both are there for you. You guys have been amazing. Shout out to everybody that came in the chat. From Bordy to Drake Williams to Yobi to Boston Game who came through rocking with us, a Sly Crow. I think I said Strolly. Coming through and rocking with us, man. You guys have been fantastic. Zifi, I think I pronounced it right. If I didn't, I do apologize. You guys are super dope for coming through and rocking with us, supporting us. Adidas Zero coming through and rocking with us, man. You guys have been great. And with all that said, congratulations. You guys leveled up. This was the WSP podcast. See you guys next Wednesday. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Onions.
Onions.